ephemeral. Meaning, lasting for a very short time. Example, the beauty of the cherry blossoms is ephemeral. Neat. Meaning, orderly and clean. Example, she keeps her room neat and organized. Pluck. To pull something off with your fingers. Example, pluck a flower from the garden. Nudge. A gentle push to get someone's attention. Example, give your friend a nudge if they're not paying attention. Moron. A mean word for someone silly. Example, calling someone a moron is not nice. Pledge. A solemn promise or commitment. Example, they made a pledge to always be there for each other. Pack. To strike or pick up with the beak. Example, the chickens would peck at the scattered grains. Smirk. To smile in a smug or self-satisfied way. Example, he couldn't help but smirk after winning the game. Blunder. A careless or foolish mistake. Example, spilling water on the laptop was a blunder. Grudge. Holding on to bad feelings because someone hurt you before. Example, she still felt upset because of a grudge from an old argument. Petrify. To make someone feel extremely frightened. The sudden roar of thunder could petrify even the bravest person. Nostalgic. A sentimental longing for the past. Listening to the old song made him feel nostalgic about his childhood. Pensive. Deep in thought, often with a hint of sadness. She looked pensive as she gazed out of the window. Serenade. a musical performance, typically done to express romantic feelings. He decided to serenade her under the balcony. Tantrum. A big, uncontrolled burst of anger or frustration, usually seen in children. Example: the toddler threw a tantrum in the store when denied a toy. Spoiled. Getting too much of what you want, making you act selfish or entitled. Example: the spoiled child got upset when not given another piece of candy. Repent. Feeling sorry for doing something wrong and wanting to make it right. Example: after breaking the vase, he felt guilty and decided to repent by cleaning up the mess. Cripple. To seriously harm or damage, making something or someone unable to work properly. Example: the storm threatened to cripple the small town's infrastructure. Insidious. Proceeding in a subtle way with harmful effects. Example: the insidious nature of the disease went unnoticed until it was too late. Clandestine. Kept secret or done covertly. Example: the espionage agent operated in a clandestine manner to gather information. Nefarious. Wicked, villainous, or criminal. Example: the nefarious plot to overthrow the government was uncovered by intelligence agencies. Quell. Suppress or extinguish. Example: the police worked to quell the riot and restore order. Discern. Perceive or recognize something. Example: it was difficult to discern the truth from the conflicting stories. Nebulous. Unclear, vague, or hazy. His explanation was nebulous, leaving everyone confused. Pellucid. Transparently clear, easily understood. The pellucid water allowed us to see the colorful fish swimming. Harangue. A lengthy and aggressive speech. The politician delivered a harangue against corruption. Spill. Accidentally pour or drop something. Example: be careful not to spill the juice on the table. Susurrus. A soft, murmuring, or rustling sound like a whisper. The susurrus of leaves in the wind created a calming backdrop. Sanguine. Optimistic, especially in difficult situations. Despite setbacks, he remained sanguine about the project's success. Sovereign. Supreme ruler or leader. Example: the king was the sovereign of the kingdom. Obtuse. Slow to understand. Example: his obtuse response revealed a lack of comprehension. Silly. Meaning, lacking in good sense, foolish. Example: their silly antics made everyone laugh. Candid. Honest and straightforward. She gave a candid response to the tough question. Mirth. Amusement or happiness. The comedy show filled the room with laughter and mirth. Lip service. Expressing agreement or support without genuine action. Example: he paid lip service to the idea of helping, but never actually did anything. Doomed. Likely to have an unfortunate or tragic outcome. Example: their relationship seemed doomed from the start. Pace. Speed or rate of movement. Example: he walked at a slow pace. Promulgated. Officially announced or made known. Example: the new rules were promulgated by the government. Lodged. To stay temporarily in a place. Example: they lodged in a cozy cabin during their vacation. Confined. Restricted or limited to a specific place or situation. Example: the cat felt confined in the small room. Curator. A person in charge of a museum or collection. Example: the curator gave a tour of the art gallery. Harbinger. A sign or indication of something to come. Example: the first snowfall was a harbinger of winter. Feudalism. A social system where land is exchanged for military service or labor. Example: feudalism was common in medieval Europe. Upbraid. To scold or criticize someone. Example: the teacher upbraided the student for not completing the assignment. Tycoon. A wealthy and influential person, especially in business. Example: he's a real estate tycoon who owns several properties. Privilege. A special right, advantage, or immunity granted to a particular person or group. Example: it's a privilege to have access to quality education. Conspiracy. A secret plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful. Example: the conspiracy to overthrow the government was uncovered by investigators. Keen. Very interested or excited. Example: the students were keen to learn about the new topic. Timid. Shy or not very confident. Example: the timid kitten hid behind the sofa. Feast. A big and yummy meal. Example: Thanksgiving is a feast with lots of delicious food. Demise. The end or death of something. Example: the demise of the old computer meant getting a new one. Stink. Smell really bad. Example: the garbage started to stink after a few days. Funeral. A ceremony for someone who has passed away. Example: people gather at a funeral to say goodbye. Conceal. hide or keep something secret. Example, she tried to conceal the surprise gift. Unwell. Not feeling good. Example, he stayed home because he was unwell. Furious. Extremely angry. Example, he was furious when he found out about the broken vase. Ruin. Destroy or damage. Example, rain can ruin a picnic if you're not prepared. Reside. Live in a place. Example, many people reside in the city for work. Hilarious. Extremely funny. Example, the comedian's jokes were so hilarious that everyone laughed. Distraught. Extremely sad or upset. Example, she felt distraught when she lost her favorite toy. Delighted. Extremely pleased or happy. Example, she was delighted with the surprise gift from her friend. Frail. Weak or delicate. Example, the frail old man needed help walking. Diligent. Working hard and carefully. Example, the diligent student always finishes homework on time. Stingy. Not wanting to share or spend money. Example, don't be stingy, share your snacks with others. Dispute. A disagreement or argument. Example, the siblings had a dispute over who gets to use the computer first. Rebuke. Strong criticism or scolding. Example, the teacher had to rebuke the students for not doing their homework. Stroll. Walk slowly and enjoyably. Example, let's take a stroll in the park after lunch. Versatile. Good at many different things. Example, she's a versatile musician, playing both piano and guitar. Lap. The top part of your legs when you're sitting, also a complete circle. Example, place the book on your lap and read. Persuade. Convincing someone to do or believe something by giving good reasons. Example, she used her persuasive skills to get her friends to join the volunteer project. Preach. Talking passionately about an important idea, especially related to morals or beliefs. Example, the teacher would preach about kindness and sharing with classmates. Rigid. Not able to change easily, sticking strictly to rules or plans. Example, the schedule was rigid, and there was no room for changes. Discard. Throwing something away because it's not needed anymore. Example, it's time to discard these old clothes, they don't fit anymore. Hollow. Empty inside, lacking real meaning or substance. Example, winning the game felt hollow without the joy of playing with friends. Reliable. Something or someone you can always trust or depend on. Example, my alarm clock is reliable. It wakes me up at the same time every day. Beside. Next to or near something. Example, she sat beside her friend during the movie and shared popcorn. Capricious. Given to sudden and unaccountable changes of mood or behavior. Example, the weather can be capricious, shifting from sunshine to rain in a matter of minutes. Inexorable. Relentless and unyielding. Example, the inexorable march of time waits for no one. Esoteric. Intended for or understood by only a small number of people. Example, the professor's lectures were often esoteric. Supine. lying face upward. Example: the patient remained supine on the hospital bed. Lethargic, sluggish and lacking energy. Example: the hot weather made everyone feel lethargic and unmotivated. Idyllic, extremely peaceful, happy, or picturesque. Example: the small village nestled in the hills was an idyllic retreat. Ebullient, overflowing with enthusiasm or excitement. Example: the ebullient crowd cheered as the team won the championship. Sycophant, a person who acts obsequiously towards someone important to gain advantage. The sycophant constantly flattered the boss to get ahead. Taciturn, inclined to silence, reserved in speech. The taciturn man rarely spoke, but his actions spoke volumes. Ineffable, beyond description, too great or extreme to be expressed in words. The beauty of the mountain scenery was ineffable. Resplendent, shining brilliantly, radiant. The bride looked resplendent in her elegant wedding gown. Symbiotic, in a mutually beneficial relationship. The plants and bees had a symbiotic connection in the garden. Juxtapose, to place or deal with close together for contrasting effect. The artist juxtaposed light and dark shades to create a striking painting. Halcyon, calm, peaceful, and happy. The vacation provided a halcyon escape from the hustle and bustle of city life. Disparate, essentially different in kind, not allowing comparison. The two theories were disparate and couldn't be easily reconciled. Quintessential, representing the most perfect or typical example of a quality or class. The historic castle was the quintessential image of medieval architecture. Zephyr, a gentle, mild breeze. The zephyr rustle believes in the quiet forest. Munificent, more generous than is usual or necessary. Her munificent donation greatly benefited the local charity. Supple, flexible and graceful in movement. The gymnast demonstrated supple agility in her routines. Exuberant, full of energy, excitement, and cheerfulness. The children were exuberant on the playground. Mellower, calmer and more relaxed. As the evening progressed, the atmosphere became mellower. Delectable, extremely pleasing to the senses, especially taste. The chef prepared a delectable dish that delighted everyone. Meticulous, showing great attention to detail, very careful and precise. The artist was meticulous in every brushstroke. Rambunctious, energetic, noisy, and difficult to control. The rambunctious puppies played in the backyard. Languid, lacking energy or vitality, slow and relaxed. On lazy Sundays, they enjoyed a languid afternoon nap. Cognizant, aware and mindful of something. She was cognizant of the potential challenges ahead. Supine, lying on the back, facing upward. He lay supine on the grass, enjoying the warmth of the sun. Exemplary, serving as a desirable model, outstanding. His exemplary leadership inspired the entire team. Truncate, to shorten by cutting off a part. He had to truncate the speech to fit within the time limit. Melancholy, a feeling of deep sadness or sorrow. The rainy weather brought a sense of melancholy to her mood. jubilant, extremely joyful. The team was jubilant after winning the championship. Amiable, friendly and pleasant. Her amiable personality made her easy to approach. Zealous, showing great enthusiasm or devotion. She was zealous about protecting the environment. Luminous, emitting bright light. The moon was luminous in the night sky. Exquisite, extremely beautiful or delicate. The artwork was an exquisite masterpiece. Mellifluous, sweet-sounding, pleasant to hear. Her mellifluous voice captivated the audience. Pristine, in its original condition, unspoiled. The beach was pristine, untouched by human activity. Enigmatic, mysterious and difficult to understand. The old book contained enigmatic symbols that puzzled scholars. Harbinger, a sign or indication of something to come. The dark clouds were a harbinger of an approaching storm. Vivid, bright and distinct in color. The sunset painted the sky in vivid shades of orange and pink. Crisp, meaning firm and fresh, easily broken into a crunching sound. Example, the wafers had a crisp texture when bitten. Jolly, meaning full of high spirits and good humor. Example, the children were jolly during the holiday festivities. Gentle, meaning kind and mild in temperament. Example, she spoke in a gentle and soothing voice. Polite, meaning showing good manners and consideration for others. Example, it's important to be polite when meeting new people. Glow. Meaning, to emit a steady light or warmth. Example, the candles cast a warm glow in the room. Fluffy. Meaning, soft and puffy in texture. Example, the kitten had a fluffy coat of fur. Quaint. Meaning, attractively unusual or old-fashioned. Example, the town had a quaint charm with its narrow streets. Scent. Meaning, a distinctive smell or fragrance. Example, the flowers in the garden emitted a sweet scent. Graceful. Meaning, elegant and smooth in movement or appearance. Example, the ballet dancer performed with graceful movements. Cautious. Meaning, careful and aware of potential risks. Example, the hiker was cautious while navigating the rocky trail. Lively. Meaning, full of energy and enthusiasm. Example, the party had a lively atmosphere with music and dancing. Tender. Meaning, soft and easily chewed, showing gentleness and care. Example, the meat was tender, cooked to perfection. Brisk. Meaning, quick and energetic. Example, the brisk walk in the morning invigorated her. Gleam. Meaning, to shine brightly with reflected light. Example, the sun made the water gleam like diamonds. Hasty. Meaning, done quickly and without much thought. Example, his hasty decision led to some unintended consequences. Spacious. Meaning, having a large amount of space. Example, the living room felt spacious and open. Bold. Meaning, fearless and daring. Example, the explorer took a bold step into the unknown. Bright. Meaning, giving out a lot of light, intelligent. Example, the sun is bright in the sky, she is a bright student. Calm. Meaning, peaceful and quiet. Example, the lake was calm in the early morning. Fast. Meaning, quick or rapid in movement. Example, the cheetah is known for its fast speed. Quiet. Meaning, making little or no noise, peaceful. Example, the library is a quiet place to study. Tall. Meaning, of great or more than average height. Example, the giraffe is a tall animal. Kind. Meaning, having a gentle nature, considerate. Example, she is known for her kind and caring heart. Warm. Meaning, having or giving off heat. Example, the sunlight felt warm on her skin. Tasty. Meaning, having a pleasant flavor. Example, the homemade cookies were delicious and tasty. Clever. Meaning, quick to understand or learn, intelligent. Example, the clever student solved the math problem easily. Cozy. Meaning, warm, comfortable, and snug. Example, the fireplace made the room feel cozy on a cold night. Shy. Meaning, nervous or timid in the company of others. Example, the shy girl hesitated to speak in front of the class. Fresh. Meaning, newly produced or obtained, not stale. Example, the vegetables from the garden were fresh and crisp. Lucky. Meaning, having good fortune, fortunate. Example, winning the lottery made him feel lucky. Funny. Meaning, amusing or entertaining, causing laughter. Example, the comedian told a funny joke that made the audience laugh. Serene. Meaning, calm, peaceful. Example, the lake looked serene in the early morning light. Benevolent, meaning kind and generous. Example, the benevolent stranger donated money to the charity. Ubiquitous, meaning present or found everywhere. Example, smartphones have become ubiquitous in our daily lives. Resilient, meaning able to recover quickly from difficulties. Example, despite setbacks, she remained resilient and determined. Voracious, meaning having a very eager approach to an activity. Example, he is a voracious reader, finishing books within days. Pernicious, meaning having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Example, the pernicious influence of gossip can damage relationships. Lethargic, meaning sluggish, lacking energy. Example, after a long hike, they felt lethargic and exhausted. Cacophony, meaning a harsh, discordant mixture of sounds. Example, the city street was filled with the cacophony of honking horns. Aplomb, meaning self-confidence or assurance, especially when in a demanding situation. Example, the speaker addressed the audience with great aplomb. Meticulous, meaning showing great attention to detail, very careful and precise. Example, the artist was meticulous in every brushstroke of the painting. Quagmire, meaning a difficult or precarious situation. Example, the political issue turned into a quagmire with no easy solution. Pervasive, meaning spreading widely throughout an area or a group of people. Example, the scent of fresh flowers was pervasive in the garden. Tranquil, meaning free from disturbance, calm. Example, the forest was tranquil, with only the sounds of nature. Prolific, meaning producing much fruit or foliage or many offspring, abundant. Example, the author was a prolific writer, releasing several books each year. Preen, to groom or clean oneself with the beak or tongue. Example, the bird would preen its feathers after bathing. Trudge. To walk slowly and heavily, often with difficulty. Example, the tired hiker would trudge up the steep hill. Wail. To cry out loudly in grief or pain. Example, the mournful sound of the wind made it seem like it was wailing. Sneak. To move quietly and secretly. Example, the cat would sneak up on the unsuspecting bird. Mutter. To speak in a low and indistinct manner. Example, he would mutter under his breath when frustrated. Coo. To make a soft murmuring or gentle sound. Example, the dove would coo in the peaceful garden. Glare. To stare angrily or fiercely. Example, she would glare at him for forgetting their anniversary. Loom. To appear as a shadowy, large, or threatening figure. Example, the mountain would loom in the distance. Frolic. To play and move about in a lively and playful way. Example, the puppies would frolic in the grassy field. Whimper. To make a low, plaintive, or distressed sound. Example, the puppy would whimper when left alone. Snicker. To give a half-suppressed laugh. Example, the kids would snicker in the back of the classroom. Clamor. A loud and confused noise. Example, the marketplace was filled with the clamor of voices. Thanks for watching and subscribe us for more.